We are now live. Hey players, welcome to another live stream here on my channel. This is my very first live stream of 2021, so super excited to be here with you guys today. We're going to be talking about 5 signs your crush is the one for you. This is going to be how you're going to figure out whether or not that person you have this deep desire for is the person you're meant to be with. Now, look, I know there are a lot of matchmaker tests online and a lot of soulmate quizzes and stuff, but I feel like these are 5 practical things you can actually look at, really dive into, and ask yourself, do I meet the criteria here? Are me and my crush on that page? And if you guys are, then I think there's a strong chance that this might be the one that could be your soulmate. This could be the one that you should date. Either way, it should lead you to action. You know, my very first video of the year was How to Ask a Girl Out in 2021, which is all about action, and it's exactly what I want you guys to do this year. But before I get into that, I want to give shout outs to all the early birds here in the chat. If you're someone that's jumping on for the very first time, welcome to the very first live stream here. If you're someone that's an early bird and you're a regular, you know, jump in. Like I said before, my name is Josh. Every single week I make videos sharing tips, ideas, and stories teaching you how to be your best self. And let's see who we got here. Early birds in the chat. If you're someone that's jumping in, right in the chat right now, jump in, say hey. I want to hear what you guys have to say. Let's see who we got here. We got Tariq Official. Kolak is in here as well. Alex Burns, good to have you, Alex. Happy to see you in the new year. Dario's in here. Dario, good to have you, my man. Benji Leon Ginger, Everglow 101. Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, happy to have you, my friend. Nick, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. I'm going to jump to it in a second here. William Dean is in here. Judah Rondez, Rage Master, Jalen's in here. The Martial Artist, the Juan Speaks. Good to have you, Juan. I'm really looking forward to all the content you're going to put out there on your channel. It's going to help so many people. Adrian Paladin, Caleb Guitar Covers is in here, Toxic Fungi, I'm Very Confident is in here as well. Let's see, Alvin 3004, let's see who else we got. Did I cover everyone? I think I covered everyone. AXMX is in here as well. If you guys haven't already hit the thumbs up on this video, it'll be super helpful for broadcasting out there for more people to see, and it'll also show me that you support what I'm doing. Yancey is in here as well. Good to have you, Yancey. Now, I want to jump in. Thank you all the early birds in here. I want to jump in and answer Nick's question because I think it's an important one here. Let's jump in and answer Nick's question there. Nick asked, what's the difference between a casual relationship and a serious relationship? I think this is a really important question. So, I would say the difference between a casual and a serious relationship is how much you guys are willing to spend time with each other, and whether or not you are exclusive with each other, right? So a casual relationship could just be maybe you guys hang out once in a while, maybe you hang out once a week. You can be in a casual relationship, let's say with someone that maybe you guys hang out during the summer break or the winter break, and then you go off to college, you do your thing, come back, and when you guys are back together, maybe you date again. So that could be a kind of casual relationship there. Plus, casual relationships usually don't have any kind of grounding as to like, hey, we're exclusive with each other. I would say a serious relationship might mean that you guys have decided to be exclusive with each other, or however many partners you want in your relationship. But the idea is that you are going to invest in that relationship. You're going to take time to really learn about that person, get to know them better. You know, so it all comes down to what both of you guys kind of agree on, the terms that you guys are comfortable with sharing. Right? If you can be in a serious relationship and, you know, you could still see other people if you want, as long as both people are on the same page. So I would say if you're interested in pursuing a more casual relationship, let that person know. Let the person know that you just kind of want to see them and you maybe want to see other people, and you don't want to kind of put too much hype or certainty around it. You just want to kind of play it by ear. Whereas if you want a serious relationship, I would say let them know that you're very serious about them. You really like them. Maybe you want to be exclusive too. And if they feel the same way, you guys can kind of pursue that route as well. But Nick, thank you for the $5 super chat. I think that's an important question. I think I'm also going to do a video on that and kind of break it down a little bit more, because I know a lot of people might also have that question as well. But I'm happy to have you guys in here. I'm happy to kind of dive into these topics. I hope they're going to be helpful. Before I get started, though, I do want to do a chat poll, because I love chat polls. I love hearing what you guys have to say. So every single person that's watching right now, I want you to jump in. I want you to give a yes or no answer. Share your opinion. I want to hear what you guys have to say. Yes or no, guys, everyone in the chat. Do you feel like your crush is the one for you? Let's just start. The title of the video, let's just start. Do you have that feeling inside that they are? that maybe they're your soulmate, or maybe you're just destined to be with them, or maybe just you like them so much that like you can't even imagine going after anyone else or pursuing anyone else because they are the one that you want. Do you feel like your crush is the one for you? Yes or no? I want to hear what you guys have to say. You guys can also break from the yes or no and kind of explain a little bit more. If there's a little bit more context you want to give that's not a yes or no answer, feel free to give it into the chat right now. But let's see what we got here. I asked the question, do you feel like your crush is the one for you? Alexander Cole said, yeah. McKenna Howard says yes. Caleb says yes. Nick says yes. Stewart says stop. Oh, stop to Rage Master. Toxic says yes. Dylan says yes. John says yes. I'm seeing a lot of yeses. Darius says no because I don't have any crushes right now. I hear you on that. Dominic says yes because my crush is the one for me because we're boyfriend and girlfriend. Well, that makes sense to me. Ethan says yes, 100%. Carter says yes. Harvey, yes. Quinn Williams, yes. Jalen says, I don't know. I hope so. Rage Master says, I don't think so. So I guess I'll find another crush. Tariq says, been trying to get a hold of you in the DMs on Instagram. Yeah, Tariq, I get a lot of DMs on Instagram and it's hard for me to kind of respond to everyone. So if I don't get to respond to your DM on Instagram, don't worry. I'm going to mention a few ways later on in the live stream of how you can connect with me, how you can get my direct attention if you want a video chat or whatever it may be to talk to me one-on-one. But yeah, so I'm seeing a lot of yes. Dominic, yes. Alexander Cole, yes. So a lot of you guys do feel that your crush is the one for you, that they are your soulmate in a way, that like, this is the person that you need to be pursuing. And Rage Mash asks a good question. Is your wife considered your soulmate? Now, I've kind of struggled over the years to really define what is a soulmate. What does that mean? I think a lot of people have different definitions. Some people's ideas of a soulmate might be something like... Some people's ideas might be something like, this is a person that you are destined. Like destiny has brought the two of you together to be together. Like you are made for each other. That's one perspective. Another perspective might be, this is a person that just gets you. They understand you and they're open to understanding you. You just have that ease and flow of connecting with them. That might be another definition of a soulmate. So I guess it all depends on what you interpret soulmate to be. Can you create a soulmate, or are soulmates destined? For me personally, I believe soulmates are created. I think that you develop a deep relationship with someone, a deep rapport and a deep connection that allows you guys to really bond at that soul. And when we say bonding at that soul, what I mean is there's a sense of openness and vulnerability that you can share with that person. I'm going to get more into that as I walk through these points here, guys. But as Dono said, let's take a sip of water. And let's jump into the first point here, guys, because I really want to get the conversation going and I want us to start talking through these points a little bit. So let's set that up right now. Point number one is this, guys. This is the first sign that your crush is the one for you. You feel comfortable being yourself around them. There's a sense of ease whenever you guys talk, whenever you guys interact, whenever you guys laugh and joke with each other. So, there isn't that discomfort or awkwardness. And look, that's not to say that the moment that you meet them and the moment that you see them, everything is perfect. No, that's not exactly what this means. What it means is that as you interact with them more, you start to feel like you can just be yourself. You can just open up and kind of share what's on your mind and just kind of really put your personality and self out there. There's a sense of comfort, a deep sense of comfort that you have with them. Now, you can have comfort with your close friends. You can have comfort with friends in your class. You can have comfort with a lot of people. That's why this is one of 5 signs. But I think in order for you to determine whether or not that person is the one for you, there needs to be that sense of comfort that you have around them. If you feel like things are incredibly uncomfortable, things are awkward and weird, and you don't really see a road for how they can get better, it's possible that that person might not be the one for you. But thinking about that idea of being comfortable around your crush, do you feel like you can talk about what's on your mind? You could share your thoughts on things. You don't get nervous and fidgety around them. Maybe you're more calm and relaxed. So I'll jump back to here. Let's do another chat poll and hear what you guys have to say. When it comes to being comfortable around your crush, do you feel like you are? Yes or no? I want to hear what you guys have to say on that because it's important to really, really dive in and ask yourself, when I'm around my crush, I'm nervous, but I feel like I can build up towards that sense of comfort. I feel like that opportunity is there. In some cases, though, you may just fall flat every single time and feel like, man, every time I talk to this person, the conversation's weird. They look like they don't really want to talk to me. They look like they are trying to find a way to get out of here as fast as they can. If you're picking up those signs, then let that also be a red flag that this person might not be the one. But I asked you guys here, do you feel like you could be comfortable around your crush? And here's what you guys had to say. Tariq says yes. Nija says yes. Dylan says yes. Toxic, yes. Nick says yes. Christian, from my perspective, no. Jalen says sometimes. Pokemon Mystery Dungeon says, as I don't have a crush. Yeah, dude, that's okay. If you don't currently have a crush now, that's totally fine. I think ultimately it's important to think, well, for crushes you may have had, or in the future, if you have a crush, it's important to kind of know what to look for so that you can feel prepared when you do eventually kind of meet that person. But Daria says, no, like I said, at the moment, I don't really have crushes. That's okay. FXS says sometimes. Sorry. Stuart says, my capacity for having a crush has dropped dead, but yes, I do usually feel comfortable around my crushes. Yeah, I hear you on that, Stuart. It sounds like, maybe you're struggling a bit with kind of feeling like, there's anyone out there that you want to get to know. I know we've had that kind of conversation before, but it sounds like when you have had crushes, you felt comfortable around them. And that's a good, clear sign that you can be working towards that idea of, hey, this is the person for me, the person I should be dating. Let's see. Dono says, I sort of do. I feel like I'm going to screw up, though. Yeah, I understand where you're coming from on that. Sometimes it's like comfort isn't something that you just magically have. Sometimes you have to build towards comfort. And building towards comfort looks very different for a lot of different people, right? One way that you can kind of work on building towards comfort might be to kind of practice things you want to say in the beginning, have ideas of what you want to talk about, maybe questions you want to ask, think about them beforehand so that when you do talk to your crush, you do feel a little bit more comfortable. It doesn't feel awkward or rigid or weird in any kind of way. I think for other people that sense of comfort for some might just come naturally, right? Maybe this is a person who just vibes with you on that level. Maybe you guys joke around and there isn't a sense of weirdness that's there. It could just flow naturally. Judah says 51-49 split. 59 yes, 51 yes, 41 no. 49 no. Because it'll only be awkward if you make it awkward. Yeah, I think sometimes it's like we feel like the situations might be out of our hands, right? Like if we really take a step back when we're in that moment and think, hey, what am I feeling right now? What am I experiencing? Am I nervous? Am I feeling awkward right now? Let me take a deep breath. Let me try to calm my nerves right now. Let me try to recalibrate a bit. Then maybe you can kind of work on fixing that awkward moment, right? If you're able to kind of take a step back and get out of the awkwardness that's happening. But guys, I think that building that sense of comfort is going to be the first step you're going to really want to work on and look for if you're trying to see whether or not your crush is the one for you. I think without that comfort, it's going to be really hard for you to kind of determine if that person's the kind of person you want to date because, ultimately it's going to be an uphill battle. You're going to be struggling to get their attention or to talk to them or to interact with them because they just are not giving you anything to work with in that moment. So that's kind of the first point there that I want to kind of cover there. Dono asked a good follow-up question here, guys. Question is, do you feel comfortable? Oh, okay. I thought it was a follow-up. That was the question from the chat poll that I asked there. And I want you guys to each think about that. Do you feel comfortable around your crush? And if you don't, what is it that you can do to work on that? Now, I have tons and tons of videos. I'll link one up over here that you can check out when you watch the replay of how to build that sense of comfort with your crush so that you feel like it's easier for you to talk to them, interact with them. But that's the first thing you guys are going to want to look for there. So I want to jump into point number 2 here, guys. Let me pull it up. This is the second sign you're going to want to look for when it comes to figuring out whether or not your crush is the one for you. Sign number 2 is they have a genuine interest in who you are. Now, this is slightly different from feeling comfortable around them. This is not just giving, but the receiving portion, right? They have a genuine interest in who you are in a way where they really like talking to you. They like learning about you. They're curious about your life. They want to know what's going on. They want to know what your interest is. The same way that you want to learn about your crush, you want to figure out what their hobbies and their interests are. You want to learn about them and their friend groups. You want to see what do they enjoy doing on the weekends? What's their favorite movie? What show are they binge watching on Netflix right now? The same way you want to learn all those things about your crush may also want to learn that about you, and that's a real sign that this person may be someone worth pursuing, someone that is the one for you to ask out and get to know better. So noticing that genuine interest comes in a lot of different forms. It might be that person messages you from time to time. Maybe they call you, or they approach you in school, or they ask about you, or just ask you how you're doing. Looking for that genuine interest from your crush is going to be a good sign that they might be the one. So thinking back to my own life, I think back to like girls that I had huge crushes on in high school and even in college, right? Girls that I looked at, I'm like, oh, just enamored with, right? And in my mind, I felt like they were the one for me, right? But a lot of that was one way. A lot of that was just my feelings for them, and I didn't really know their feelings towards me, right? A lot of these girls that I liked, I didn't even really talk to. I barely interacted with, but I had this deep attraction to them, and I just felt like they were the one, even though they showed no interest back in me. If I did try to message them or talk to them, maybe they gave me kind of just normal, casual conversation, but there was no real curiosity from their side. And I think if you want to determine if a person is the one for you, they have to have that curiosity about you. Because let's be honest, you're a pretty awesome person. You're someone worth getting to know. And if your crush doesn't really want to get to know you, if they're not interested, then it's possible that they may just not be the person worth dating. But let's turn to a chat poll and hear what you guys have to say here. I want a yes or no here. I want to hear every single person in the chat right now. By the way, guys, we're at 40 likes. Let's get this to 50 likes. We can get this to 50 likes. Let's move this up to 50 likes. If you haven't already, hit the like button, guys. But I want to ask this chat poll question here. Does your crush show a genuine interest in you as a person? I want to hear what you guys have to say, yes or no. I mean, I've done a lot of videos on YouTube. The one that I kind of always go back to was the girl that friend-zoned me, and she did show a lot of interest in me. She was curious about my life, and I'll get to why I got friend-zoned, but I liked her a lot, but I think she liked me back as a friend. So sometimes that interest could be romantic. Sometimes it could also be in a friendly way. And as we move to the other signs, you'll start to see where this person may see you as a friend, or this person may see you as something more. They may also see you as the one. But I asked you guys that question. Does your crush show an interest in you? Are they curious about you and your life and what's going on? Here's what you guys had to say. Nigel Williams said no. Mr. Savage said yes. Dominic says yes, she loves me and I love her. Let's see. John Price says sometimes. Dylan says no. All right, so we're getting a mix of yes and no in here. I got to figure out, too, how to do like an actual chat poll. I saw it through Streamlabs that you can set it up and people can type a command. And I'd love to get the actual chat poll showing on the screen, so I got to figure that out. But Nick says, I'm not sure. Look, Nick, that's a good point. If you're not sure, if you're kind of you don't really know where they stand, that's always an avenue and an opportunity for you to explore. That's the perfect opportunity for you to explore. And the way that you explore that is by asking your crush about themselves and sharing more about yourself, right? Because sometimes people aren't just going to flat out say, what's going on? What do you like to do? They may not always ask the questions, but if you start to open up more and share more with them, they may start to ask more follow-up questions now that they know that you're willing to open up to them. Davin says, yes, I'd like to think so. Zadi says no. Dominic says, why? Of course she loves me, not just likes me. Yeah, look, I mean, if she's your girlfriend, man, then she loves you, then that's that, Judah says, I'm not sure, can't really tell. Yeah, Judah, exactly to that point too. If you don't know where your crush stands, if your crush isn't openly showing an interest in you, you might want to, kind of feed that a bit by sharing more about yourself, telling more personal stories, opening up more, right? Because you can't expect your crush to just be super confident and approach you and ask you tons of questions. Sometimes you need to kind of put a little bit out there so they can kind of follow in that suite. Pokemon Mystery Dungeon says, well, since I'm already a single high school graduate, I can safely answer the question as no. Sonic says, hey Josh, I'm about to start my second semester at college and I want to ask my crush to be my girlfriend. Should I have my friends help me try to ask her? That's a good question. I think that if you're going to start your second semester in college and you want your friends to help you ask her, I think one way to get them to kind of get on board to help you would be not for them directly to ask her, or not even for them to ask her, hey, do you like my friend? Don't do that. I think instead, have your friends start to talk to your crush and become better friends with your crush. And then you can now invite your crush and your friends and whoever else, their friends, together to go hang out and to get to know each other better. Have your friends be good wingmen. And what I consider to be a good wingman is a person that creates a fun atmosphere that your crush wants to be a part of. And that way, when your crush is a part of it, that gives you the opportunity to better interact with them. So that's how you might want to have your friends be more involved there. But let's pull this back to the main screen here. But let me jump through and see what some more of you guys are saying in here. Hey, we hit 50 likes, guys. We did it. We'll keep bumping it up as we go along. We're at 52. Let's get this to 60. All right. JGH says, is it okay to be friends with my crush before a relationship? That's a really, really good question. I think it's totally fine. I think you actually should be friends with your crush before a relationship, because here's the thing. Just because you like someone, just because you feel romantically attracted to them, doesn't mean that the two of you are going to get along, right? Like we think we will. We think, oh my God, they're so attractive. Like it's just going to be amazing. But sometimes attractive people can be boring. Sometimes people you think are cool and popular just they don't really mesh well with you. They're just not your cup of tea. So it is important to start to develop some type of a friendship. But you, like I said before, you want that friendship to evolve into a relationship. You don't want to just jump into a friendship if you want to date that person. So developing that friendship has to start with learning about them, seeing what you guys have in common, opening up more and sharing more about yourself, letting them see that you're confident enough to approach them and talk to them and joke with them, maybe even flirt with them, ask them out. If you can do all those steps, then you can take that friendship and lead it into a relationship. Scott says, I think it's a lot of reciprocity. If they seem as enthusiastically interested in you as you are, of them is more of a sign. Yep, Scott, I'm going to pin that because I think that is the perfect kind of answer here. It is about that. Why won't it let me pin message? All right, there we go. It is all about that reciprocity. It is all about, by the way, guys, as I ask questions and stuff, if you guys kind of give like really awesome answers, I'm going to start pinning it as we talk about it, because I think that if what you have to say is powerful and helpful, I want everyone that's jumping in the chat and watching it to see it. So make sure to be interactive. Make sure to share your perspective too, because it's not just me talking here. I want you guys to share your stories and experiences as well. But I think what he said there is key. It is about the reciprocity. There's a level of enthusiasm that you show in getting to know them better, and there should be a level of enthusiasm that they show in getting to know you better. You're only going to find the one if you see that the two of you are interested in each other, right? Like a genuine interest as people. That has to be there in order for you to develop something deeper with them. Let's take another water break here. My drink of choice is H2O. This comes from the Poland Spring region of the mountains. So, wrong pin, I think. Did I pin the wrong thing? I think I pinned the right thing. Yeah, I pinned the right message. But yeah. I'm just reading through some of the comments here. Lemon says, Josh, I don't know if my crush actually dumped her boyfriend. How do I know? That's a good question, Lemons. I don't know if you've seen my video. I'll link it up over here in the replay of the boyfriend trick, or the question trick, I call it. Not the boyfriend trick, the question trick. And what I consider the question trick to be is this. When you talk to that person, right, you might want to ask a question and imply that they have a boyfriend. So one way to do that might be this. You might want to say to your crush, hey, did you see the new Wonder Woman? Did you see the new Wonder Woman movie yet? And if they say yes or no, oh, cool. Let's say they say yes. Oh, cool. Did you watch it with your boyfriend? Now, what I've done is I've made the assumption that she watched it with her boyfriend. Now, when she responds to me, she's going to respond either saying, yes, I watched it with him, or no, I watched it alone. That's going to give you an indication as to whether or not she's still with the guy without directly asking, do you have a boyfriend? So make that implication and then let them either assert that it's true or correct it so that you know whether or not they have a boyfriend or not. That's kind of a sly way to do it. That's what I call a question trick. Everglow says, hey Josh, I have a situation. I've been dating this girl for a while so I can work on my dating skills while I wait for my main crush. My girlfriend told me she loves me. Help. So you're dating this girl for a while so you can work on your dating skills while waiting for your main crush. Well, here's the thing, Everglow. I think that If you mean dating as in like you guys are boyfriend, girlfriend, and she's not really someone that you want to be with, it probably makes more sense to let her know that you just want to date casually, right? As I said in the very beginning with Nick's question, dating casually just means, hey, listen, maybe we hang out from time to time, maybe we hook up from time to time, but ultimately we're not exclusive. I don't want you to feel like we're only dating each other. You might want to clarify that with you. Now, if she told you that she loves you and you don't feel the same way, it's better to kind of share that early on than to wait later on. I know it's going to be awkward and weird to tell her, I don't really know how I feel, but I don't know if I feel that same way. But it's important to let her know that, especially if that's not where you are right now. Okay, let's jump to point number 3 here, guys. Let me pull it up. By the way, like I said, if you haven't already, hit the thumbs up on this video, guys, if you're enjoying the stream. I want to hear what you guys have to say. I'm happy that I got all this working now. Okay, point number 3, guys, and that's going to be this. This is the third sign that your crush is the one for you. They don't lead you on or play games. This is an important one. Now, sometimes you may like someone that is in a situation where they don't know if they want to date you, or they're not really sure how they feel, or they may just want to be friends right now, or maybe they want to date you, but they're flirting with someone else. If you feel like the person you are approaching is playing games with you or they're leading you on, they're probably not the one for you. And the reason why I say that, and this is a hard one to kind of take to heart, because I think for a lot of times when you like someone, you really, really hope that when they do give you attention, when they do talk to you, when they do share their opinion and open up to you, that you really hope that it's genuine. You hope that they like you back in the same way that you like them. But I think ultimately what you have to realize is that if you like someone and you're approaching them and you're asking them out and you're trying to get to know them better, and they just are not being straight with you, they are kind of giving you the runaround, they're not really answering your questions about dating, or maybe, you message them and they just never respond to you, or they take forever to respond back, or they give you one-word answers. You're just not getting from them the type of communication you want. It's possible they might be leading you on. And look, it's not to say that because a person's leading you on, they're a bad person. Sometimes we lead people on unintentionally. Sometimes we don't know that this person has deep feelings for us, and we just talk to them, interact with them, all while not knowing what's actually happening behind the scenes. But if you feel like that person is leading you on, like they are not, being straight with you when you ask them questions, then it's possible they're not the one. Now, if they're not leading you on, if they're not playing games, if they're someone that looks forward to responding to you, or engages in having a video chat with you, or makes plans to hang out with you and wants to hang out with you, doesn't mean they're always going to do it. Maybe they're busy sometimes, but when they can and there's a willingness to, that might be a sign that they are the one for you. So we're going to jump in here, and I want to get a chat poll going here, guys. I want to hear what you guys have to say. I love hearing your perspectives and your opinions, so I want every single person watching to jump in and answer yes or no in this chat poll here, guys. Do you feel like your crush is in a way leading you on? And I want you guys, if it's not a simple yes or no, jump in and share your answer. I want to hear what you guys have to say on that, because I think it's important to kind of give it a little bit of context. Do you feel like you're being led on? And if you are, jump in and explain why. Just reading through what you guys are saying here. Jelly Squad says, this is helpful. Thanks, Josh. Jelly Squad, I'm happy it's helpful. I hope it can kind of clarify and really kind of give you some criteria to work through to figure out whether or not this is the person you should pursue. So I asked you guys, do you feel like your crush is leading you on? And here's what you guys had to say. I'll pull up your answers here on the side. Hannah Hall says no. JGH says no. Nija says no. Anthony Quentel, good to have you, Anthony, says no. Alex Burns says no. Ashley says no, they're not leading me on, but I just think that's part of their personality. It's not because of me. Ashley, I'm curious, elaborate a little bit more. What do you feel it is about their personality that might give you the impression that they might be, even though they're not? I'm curious because I think sharing that perspective might help other people too who might be in a similar situation. The Juan Speaks says no. Carter says, I keep on getting mixed signals. She takes forever to respond on Snap, but she says she's down to hang out in person. Should I keep snapping her? Carter, that's a really good question. So She says that she's open to hanging out in person, but on Snap, it's like ghost town. She barely responds on there. I think that if she's just not responsive on Snap, maybe there's another platform or another way to communicate better with her. Or maybe what you are messaging her and saying to her on Snap isn't engaging enough to get her to respond quickly. So you might want to change up how you talk to her on Snap. Maybe you want to ask her more interesting questions. Maybe you want to, send her pictures, record little videos, tag her and things. You want to be more interactive in that way. Think about how you can reshape how you communicate with her on Snap, and think about other platforms maybe that you can interact with her. Because if she is open to hanging out with you, then it might just be a communication issue, and that's something you could work on. Cheesy says, nope, had lots of fulfilling conversations with my girlfriend and we are dedicated. That's awesome, Cheesy. I'm happy for you, man. Jalen says, I don't think so. Judah says, maybe. Again, I can't really tell. Yeah, Judah, and this goes back to what I was saying before. If you are not sure whether or not your crush is kind of leading you on or leaving you hanging in messages and stuff like that, the best way to explore that question, the best way to really dive in and see whether or not you're being led on is to find alternative ways to communicate with them. And sometimes it might even just be ask them to hang out in person, because sometimes people suck at texting and messaging. Sometimes they're just bad at responding. They just don't respond in time, or they respond a day later. In this situation, see if there are alternative ways that you can approach them. So, like I said, this is a sign as to whether or not this person is the one for you. If they're not leading you on, if you feel like, no, this person's straight with me, this person's honest, they try to respond when they can, they're open to talking to me, there isn't a lot of hidden communication, or I don't see them flirting with other guys in front of me to make me jealous or anything, they're just straight with me. That might be a good sign, right? And if you're getting the opposite, that might be a bad sign. So it's important to really think about your crush or even your girlfriend or boyfriend in this situation and think, hey, are they doing this? Are we open with each other? Are we honest with each other in that sense? Let me answer a few more questions here. Donna quoted me, sometimes people suck. End quote. It's true. Sometimes people suck, you know? Let's see. Vicky Pitt says, my crush is a man 5 years younger. I feel embarrassed to say hi and I am in love. We are just friends for 4 years. Vicky, that's a really good question here. Let me pull it back to the main screen. That's a really good question, Vicky. If you've been friends with him for 4 years and he's younger than you, it sounds to me like the age difference might be something that you're a bit concerned with. If you guys are both, let's say, over 18, you're adults, let's say, I wouldn't worry so much about the age difference. I think a lot of times adults kind of stress about the age difference. And look, it can be a challenge when the person is a lot younger than you because it's hard to find things in common, or you guys may be in different stages of your life. But if you're both adults here, and you guys have been friends for years, then I think that it's okay to kind of make that move, because you have to ask yourself the simple question. For anyone here that might be in the friend zone, ask yourself the simple question. Are you okay with just being friends, or do you want something more? If you're okay with just being friends, then you might just have to grit it and bear it and realize if I ask him out, that might ruin our friendship. But if you want something more, you have to take that chance. It's the only way you're ever going to see whether or not the two of you can build a relationship. Okay, before I get into the fourth point here, guys, I do want to say this. I want to kind of share a few different resources that I have available for you guys that I think could be super, super helpful. Take a quick sip. I want to share this, guys. If you don't already know, we have a community that is filled with awesome, awesome people. This is our Josh Speaks Discord community. I know a lot of you guys use Discord, so if you do, you got to get on our community, guys. It's just an awesome, awesome place to be. What's cool about our community is that we're trying to really make it a place where people can open up, talk about what's on their minds, make friends, ask questions, and just to overall have fun. I know that Cheesy is our main moderator in our Discord community here. Dono's in there, and we got a lot of people in there that are just helping to make it a great community. But we're gonna start rolling out things like we're gonna do game nights, we're gonna do different challenges, different fun stuff to make it a more fun place. But overall, if you're looking for a place where you can kind of just maybe ask questions, make friends, and just talk about what's on your mind, this is the best place to do it, guys. Honestly, I know a lot of people have made really good friends in there and formed really good friendships. I love jumping in there and communicating with you guys. I try to be as active in the community as much as I can too. So head on over to the joshspeaks.com/Discord if you want to join our community. It's an open and welcoming place. It's free for everyone, guys. I'd love to have you as a member of it. I also want to shout this out, guys. As we walk through kind of dealing with awkward moments and figuring yourself out and understanding what's going on in your life, if you don't already know, I wrote a book. It's a guide for teens and young adults to succeed at school, life, and relationships. It's called Embracing the Awkward. It's available on Amazon. The audiobook will be out soon. So if you are interested in the audiobook, bear with me. It's coming soon, guys. But the physical book, the actual book, and the ebook are both available on Amazon. I think this book will be super helpful for you if you are in middle school, high school, or college. I kind of go broadly over those three span of schooling years. And I talk about my own experiences growing up, what it was like for me, the things I learned. And I share a lot of practical tips on what you can do to kind of embrace the awkward, to deal with those awkward moments, to practice mindfulness so that nervousness doesn't sweep over your mind. You're able to kind of center yourself and feel more relaxed and feel okay. So I would check it out, guys. I think it'll be super helpful for you. And for those of you who have purchased Embracing the Awkward or read it, I would love if you can leave a review over on Amazon. It would be super helpful for me. I know reviews help really boost the book in discoverability. So if you can leave a review, guys, it would mean the world to me. And I also want to shout this out, guys, here. Let's see, where's the one I want to say. Someone had asked before how to communicate with me. There's two open ways. The first one I'll put up here very quickly, guys, is this is my texting phone number. If you ever want to shoot me a text, ask me a question, just message me right there, 1-718-400-7129. That's my number. People always ask me, is this really you? And it is really me. I get the messages on my phone. I can respond and answer and let you guys know there. Shameless plug. This is the moment of the stream where I do a bit of the shameless plugs. I try to share with you guys some of the resources available. So they are very shameless. No, I mean, I think it'll be a helpful resource. If you guys want to talk to me one-on-one, you could do it through there. Like a lot of people send me DMs, but because I get so many of them, it's hard for me to answer. So if you just have a quick question you want to ask, this is probably the best way to ask it. Now, if you want to work with me one-on-one, this is in a much more detailed type of setting. This means you want to jump on a video call with me, a private video call where you can just get 30 minutes of my time, an hour of my time to just talk about what's going on, figure out your situation. Maybe it's a dating situation. Maybe you're trying to figure out what you want to do with your life. Maybe you're trying to figure out how to solve or resolve something that you're dealing with friends or family. Either way, if you become a patron, not only do you get your name featured at the end of my videos. If you guys have seen, I always put the patrons' names there. But like I said, we can set up a one-on-one virtual call. I have a lot of them planned with just a few people in there. I know Stuart, I have one planned with. I don't know if Azim is in here, but Azim the Dream, Hamish, all the people that you guys see as part of our community here, they're patrons as well. So I jump on one-on-one video calls with them. It's super helpful, I think, to them because we can kind of really dive deeper into the issues that they're working on. And the final thing I want to share here, guys, is this. After this live stream, I'm going to be going live over on Instagram for the Instagram after party. Consider this your private invite. Every single one of you watching, follow me over on Instagram, instagram.com/thejoshspeaks. I'm going to be going live over there. Now, what I do on Instagram Live is it's kind of different from here. Instagram live streams are more laid back, but I love to bring you guys on to video chat with me. So if you want to jump on the live stream on Instagram and just go right there and live and ask me a question, you could do that. So follow me over on Instagram, guys. I think it'll be helpful. Okay, we're going to get to point number 4 here, guys. This is the fourth point. Let me set it up. This is the fourth sign that your crush is the one for you. Let's see, we're at 65 likes, guys. If you haven't already hit the thumbs up, let's get to 70 likes, guys. Let's see what we can do. This is the fourth sign that your crush is the one for you. The two of you are open and honest with each other. Now, look. You can get along with someone and you can have a good time. Do you do Zoom? I can't do Instagram. Music Man, yeah. I mean, for the one-on-one video chats, we can do whatever platform works for you. We could talk on Discord video chat. We could talk through Zoom. We could talk through Instagram. Whatever video chat works for you on Patreon, through the Patreon subscription, I work around what's available. But let me dive into this a little bit more, guys. You two are open and honest with each other. This one is a little bit different than just you guys get along and you can share things with each other and there's a curiosity. When I say the two of you are open and honest, what I mean is that you guys are able to be more expressive about how you honestly feel. Now, this is something I think a lot of people struggle with when it comes to their crush because, yes, the Reddit. Oh, I forgot to pull up the Reddit Rage Master. If you want, post the link to the Reddit Rage Master and I'll pin it. I'll pin it while I talk for a bit. But openness and honesty really comes down to allowing yourself to be vulnerable with that person. Now, like I said, you can have a good relationship with someone. You can joke around with them. You guys can have an interest in each other, but that might be a friendship. And this is what I was saying before. The difference here between that friendship and that relationship is the openness of feelings, romantic feelings for each other. Now, if you like your crush and you want to know if they're the one for you, the best way to really discover that is to show them how you feel. Show them how you feel by asking them out on a date, spending one-on-one time with them, flirting with them, like breaking that touch barrier, maybe putting your arm around them. Maybe it's going for a kiss. Maybe it's telling them, I really like you and I want to date you. That openness and honesty, if you can share that with your crush, if you can express those feelings to your crush and your crush can express those feelings back to you, that might be a sign that you guys are you're made for each other in that sense. And when I say made for each other, I mean that it's worth exploring dating with that person. It's worth exploring getting to know them better. There's a real openness and honesty in not hiding how you feel, right? And that's important, guys, because sometimes when we have crushes, we are calm and casual with them, but we hide how we feel. We hide our real emotions. We hide our honest feelings because we're afraid we're going to push them away. We're afraid that if we tell them, hey, I really like you, then they're not going to like us back and it's going to ruin everything. So I want to get a chat poll going here, guys, because I'm curious what you guys have to say. When it comes to being open and honest about your real feelings with your crush, do you feel like you can share them with them? You can share your feelings with your crush, share them with them. Do you feel like you can share those honest, real feelings with your crush? Or are you kind of holding them back? Are you too scared to share them? Are you worried about sharing them? I want to hear what you guys have to say. Can you open up and express those feelings to your crush? Yes or no? I want to hear what you guys have to say. Let's see. Everyone jump in the chat if you can. All right, let's see what you guys had to say. I asked you guys, do you feel comfortable being open and honest and expressing your real feelings with your crush? Calisthenics believer says no. MS says no. Dario says yes. Anthony says, I don't feel like I can share them with her. Dylan says yes. Dono says no. Jalen, hi Josh. I don't know if I will ever talk to my crush again. I really messed up. I hear you, Jalen. Shoot me a DM and we'll talk a little bit more about it, man. Judith says, I don't know. Yeah, guys, look, and if you don't know, I think an I don't know or I'm not sure type of answer warrants, well, it's worth exploring. That is the response to that I don't know answer. Nigel says no. Alex Burns says yes and no. Alex, elaborate a little bit more. I'm curious. When you say yes or no, what exactly do you mean? Do you mean that yes, you can and it's easy with some people and no, it's not easy with other? I'd love to hear your perspective. Rage Master says in between, depends on my situation. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. It does depend. Parker says yes. Me and my crush were good friends before we crushed on each other. Oh, that's cool. Yeah. Look, you guys can be really, really close friends before you find out, wow, like I like this person and I've shared it with them and they liked me the whole time too. Yeah, developing that friendship really is key. But that friendship, if you want to turn it into something, you have to evolve it. Everglow says most definitely. Jalen says, I could for a future crush because I did for my last one. Awesome, Jalen. Juan Speaks says no. Carter says, not yet. I'm going to wait until I get to know her a little more. That's fair. Yeah, I think that makes sense, Carter. I think that when it comes to letting someone know that you like them, you definitely should have those other steps in place. Sorry. Davon says, I believe we can get there. I believe you can get there too, man. I do. Let's see. Akula says yes. Tarek says, I did, but she has a boyfriend, so I decided to move on. That's fair. Look, if your crush has a boyfriend and you kind of have shown them that you like them, but they're dating someone, it makes the most sense to move on. Ashley says, I feel like I can be honest about my feelings, but I don't know about them. That's a really good point, Ashley. Sometimes that honesty, that's what I'm saying. It's like, that's a sign that you guys might be for each other when you guys can both be expressive. If you can be expressive, but that person doesn't really know how they feel, or they don't really want to share it, it's possible that you guys might not be in a place where you can date. They may not be the one right now. They may not be the one that's worth pursuing. Let's see. Rage Master says, developing friendship is key for a great relationship. Absolutely. I could not agree more. Scott says, I don't necessarily think someone has to share absolutely everything. I agree. Some things are just for you, but should be able to be open and meaningful. Absolutely, Scott. And I think you hit the nail on the head there. Look, we are individual beings, right? And that means that not everything that goes through your mind or everything you feel has to be shared with someone else. There are lots of things you can definitely keep to yourself, and that's totally okay. What I'm speaking more to, I guess, and Scott, I think you understand that too, it's that it's more this willingness to want to share with them, to let them know I really like you, and for them to let you know that they like you back. I think that's going to be a good, clear sign. And I think it sounds like a lot of you guys are in between. Some said yo, some said yo, some said yo, some said ness, some said yes, some said no, some said I don't really know. And I think for a lot of you guys, it is definitely something worth exploring. Like I said, it's not just telling your crush how you feel, it's showing them how you feel. And you show them by asking them out, spending one-on-one time, flirting with them, learning about their interests and hobbies, and then eventually asking them to be your boyfriend, girlfriend, if that's what you want. Okay, we're going to move into point number 5 here, guys. This is going to be the 5th point. I'm super excited to share it with you guys here. By the way, if you have a burning question, something that is on your mind that you just need an answer for right now, like I'm here live with you guys right now, you can always use the super chat function. That's the little $ down there below when you're typing and stuff. You can donate $1, $2, $5, whatever it is. It'll put your question front and center, and I will stop what I'm talking about, and I will answer your question like I did for Nick's. All right, let's get into point number 5 here, guys, and that's going to be just reading through some of the questions. This. Okay. This is the 5th sign, guys. Now, in sign number 4, I talked about being honest and showing them how you feel, right? But the real 5th sign here ends up being that there's romantic feelings that are shared both ways. Now, I think a lot of times, most of the crushes that you have, to be realistic, they're not going to pan out. Most of the crushes, right? Maybe some will, but most won't, right? Like, look, I know for myself growing up, I had lots and lots of crushes, right? And I know most of them I wasn't going to pan out. But if you have a crush on someone and you're trying to figure out if they're the one for you, they're romantic feelings that are expressed and shared. It's one thing to tell someone that you like them. It's another thing to be able to show them that you like them. And showing them that you like them by being romantic in putting your arm around them or hugging and kissing them, or maybe getting them a nice gift on their birthday, or, writing them a nice message in the morning. These different displays of romantic feelings is how you're going to really start to see if that crush and you are the one for each other. Now, I want you guys to really think about this one. I want to get your perspective on this, guys. For those of you that are in the state where you are currently pursuing a crush, right? You're not dating them, you're just pursuing them. I want to hear what you guys have to say. And then I'll ask a second question here for the people who are in relationships. For those of you that are just pursuing a crush right now, meaning that you're talking to them, you're actively trying to get to know them better. For those of you that are pursuing a crush, do you feel like if you were to ask your crush out, that you could be romantic with them? Meaning you could maybe go for a kiss. Do you feel like you're at that stage where you can do that? Be romantic with them. Yes or no? I want to hear what you guys have to say. Azim, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Let's pull Azim's super chat up and let's answer that question, that burning question. Azim says, Josh, have you ever had a girlfriend or a crush who resembles a celebrity? Or have you ever encountered and asked out a celebrity? Perhaps Selena Gomez. So, all right, Azim is referencing a story I told him where there was a girl that I had met once in a bar that looked exactly like Selena Gomez. Like if you were to cut out Selena Gomez's face and put it on this girl, like that's who it was. And I remember walking up to her and saying, I want to make out with you. You look so much like Selena Gomez. And I just made out with her in the bar. It was a random thing. I just boldly did it and went for it. So have I ever had a girlfriend or crush who resembled a celebrity? I've definitely had crushes that resembled celebrities. In the video that I did where I talk about how I talked to Grace Helbig, there was another girl that was there that night who looked like, in my mind, looked exactly like Hilary Duff. And I'm like the biggest Hilary Duff fan. I think she's like gorgeous. So this girl looked exactly like Hilary Duff. So I was so crushing on her. Other celebrities. I don't know if you guys know who Christy Carlson Romano is from Even Stevens, but I had went to Comic-Con, New York Comic-Con one year. And I was walking out of the building with my friends, and I see this girl, and I see these two guys walking into the building, and I'm looking at her, I'm like, she looks familiar, and I turn and go, hey, are you Christy Carlson Romano? And she turns around, yes, I am. And I just started talking to her. I was like, oh, cool, let me interact with her and stuff. I didn't feel nervous. I didn't feel awkward. I felt confident in myself because I'm like, I'm going to talk to her like I talk to any other girl. Doesn't matter if she's a celebrity. Doesn't matter right now. And she ended up inviting us to go to her panel. She's like, oh, you guys got to come to the panel. You come check it out and stuff. And we were on our way home. And I was like, oh, it's my friend's birthday. We have to go. But, it'd be really cool. I took a picture with her and all. It was pretty cool. But those are the only times I could think off the top of my head. But thank you for sharing that, Azim. That was a fun question to answer. But yeah, Kim Possible. She was the voice of Kim Possible as well. All right, I asked you guys a question. Let me ask it again because I kind of forgot what I asked there. Chat poll question, guys. For those of you that are currently pursuing your crush, do you feel like you're at a point where if you were to ask them out, you can display those romantic feelings with them? Maybe it's holding their hand. Maybe it's putting your arm around them. Maybe it's going for a kiss. Do you feel like you're at that stage with your crush? And do you feel like your crush would respond positively to that? Or do you feel like it's just weird right now? I'm not there yet. I need to get to know them better. I want to hear what you guys have to say. Kim Possible was the best, man. Oh, man. Kim Possible was great. I grew up with Kim Possible as well. I had a crush on Jackie Evancho. All right, guys, I think we're leading up to a very important question that I need to ask. So we'll do this. I'll do this quickly here. I asked you guys this question. Do you feel like if you were to be romantically expressive with your crush that they would respond positively? Nija says yes. Dario says yes. Jalen says no, I wish. Zuno says yeah. Juan Speaks says no. Darius says yes, but I don't have any crushes. Jalen says no, I wish. Judah. Oh, let's pull up the chat. Judah says maybe. I'd have to think about it. Dylan says hell no. Why hell no, Dylan? Scooter says no, but she burned down my house. Oh, that's kind of sad, man. Rage Master says, I remember the naked mole rat. Rufus, good old Rufus. Oh man, I forgot the name of Shigo and what was the bad doctor's name? Doctor something. I forgot his name. Does anyone remember? Oh, I forgot his name. I had a crush on Daniel Radcliffe. All right, guys. So this is going to be definitely a separate chat poll question just because I'm curious. Who is your celebrity crush? Or what celebrity have you ever had a crush on? Let's just put it out there. Since we're talking about it, I'm just curious, guys. My celebrity crush has always been Hilary Duff. I've liked a lot of celebrities, but she's always been the one that growing up I was like, Hilary Duff. So I'm curious. Dr. Draken. Yes, Dr. Draken. Oh, man. Good call, Judah. Good call. All right. Who's been your celebrity crush, guys? I'm curious to hear what you guys have to say. Let's see what you guys got. Yeah, like I said, for me it was Hilary Duff. Davon says Emma Watson. Yeah, Emma's a beautiful girl. I'm curious the rest of you guys. Annie says Shawn Mendes. Tarek says Ariana Grande. Jalen, Camila Cabello. Darius says Emilia Clarke. Paulina Godo? Maybe I said that right. Daniel Radcliffe. Emma Watson. Haley Steinfeld. Your mom. Nice one, FX. Nice one. Henty says Emma Stone. Yeah, I'm trying to think what other celebrity crushes I've had over the years. I don't know. I think we all like celebrities to a degree, but Dave Video says Katy Perry. Carter says Olivia Rodrigo. Meg Donnelly. Zuno says Emma Swanton. Ashley says, to be honest, I feel they reciprocate my feelings because they've shown me a lot of signs, but I think that's just a pure hazard. Yeah, so Ashley, do you feel like they're reciprocating your feelings because they want you to think that, right? Like, Do you feel like they're leading you on in a way? I'm curious there. Let's see. Yancey says Bonnie Wright. Anthony says Scarlett Johansson. Dylan says got the whole Harry Potter cast here. Yeah, I think so. Everglow says Chris Martin from Coldplay, Zoe Desch and Mayim Balak, Emma Stone, Ross Lynch. Music Man says I went to high school with her brothers. Whose brothers? Hillary Duff. Brendan says I'm getting over this girl I had a crush on since high school. I do have her number, but she doesn't answer calls or text back. She only likes comments or replies on Facebook. Yep. So if you're getting over this girl that she just doesn't answer calls or texts and stuff, it sounds to me like she's not very engaged, right? There isn't an openness to want to communicate and get closer to you. So like you said, it makes sense to probably start to move forward. If she's still interacting with your content and that just always brings you back to that mindset where you think about her, you might want to think about muting her posts in some kind of way. But yeah, that was just a fun question I want to ask you guys here. I want to walk you through these 5 points again. Like I said, if you haven't already hit the thumbs up on this button, this has been a really fun live stream, guys. I'm enjoying talking to you guys and chatting about and stuff. I'm glad to be back. I'm happy to share these moments with you guys. But let's walk through these 5 points again. These are going to be the 5 signs that your crush is the one for you. Now, I want you guys to, as I walk through them, think about your situation. Think about what you're experiencing. Think about what you're going through and ask yourself, is this what I'm going through? Does my crush like me? Do I like my crush enough to share that with them? And are they the one for me? And I'll ask that question again at the end here. Let's get through these points again, guys. Point number 1 is going to be this. You feel comfortable being yourself around them. What this means is that you feel like it's okay for you to open up and to share your personality, a bit of your weirdness and the interesting things that you like. You feel like they are willing to hear you out. They, like you can share that with them without a sense of embarrassment or a sense of shame or a sense of fear that they're going to make fun of you. There's that deep sense of comfort where you can just be yourself whenever you're around them. If you see that, that's a good sign. So look for that, guys. Look for that sign from your crush. Number 2, they have a genuine interest in who you are. Look, if your crush, if you can open up to your crush and your crush is curious about you, your crush asks questions, your crush wants to learn about you, wants to hear from you, they want to know what's going on in your life, that's a good sign as well. It's a sign that they are genuinely interested in who you are. And if your crush is open enough to learn about you, then that might be a sign that it's worth pursuing more with them. So if you see this sign, that's a good sign too. Number 3, guys, they don't lead you on or play games. Look, sometimes your crush can give off lots of mixed signals, leave you super confused, leave you wondering, well, what's going on? Why don't they respond to my messages? How come they give me one-word answers? If you feel like your crush is leading you on, it might be a sign they're not into you. But if your crush responds to your messages or tries to talk to you more, or they ask you to hang out and they want to spend time with you, look, guys, that's a good sign that they might be the one for you. They're not the kind of person that plays games. You don't feel like they're trying to get you jealous by flirting with other people in front of you or, like making comments about other people just to get you upset or hurt. You feel like they're real with you. They like you. They're putting that out there. They're not leading you on. If you see that, that's a good sign that they might be the one for you. Sign number 4, you two are open and honest with each other. Look, being open and honest goes beyond just sharing what you like. It's also sharing how you feel. Being able to be really expressive with that person, to let them know that you like them, to let them know that you have these deep feelings for them. And guess what, guys? The real sign is if they also express that back for you. If the two of you can share that with each other and share the openness of feelings and share that you guys really enjoy each other's company and you really like one another, then that's a really, really good sign that the two of you are meant for each other. And number 5, romantic feelings are shared both ways. This means that you guys have so much in common that you can share with each other. You can open up to them. They want to hear from you. You're not about playing games or leading each other on. Plus, you can let them know that you really like them and you can express that. And expressing that might be going on dates with them or kissing them or holding them and hugging them. Being able to share those romantic feelings and knowing that they want to share them back with you is a really, really good sign that this is the person for you. So I want you to reflect on those 5 signs, guys, as we go back here. And I'll go back to this chat poll and ask you guys again one last time. Do you feel like your crush is the one for you? I'm really curious to hear what you guys have to say. After reflecting on those 5 signs, do you feel like your crush is the one for you? Every single person watching, jump in the chat. I want to hear what you guys have to say. Let's see what's happening. Oh, what happened with the chat? Hold on, I got to close the chat and open it again. See what you guys had to say here. FXS says yes. Alex Burns says no. Dylan says yes. Rage Master says, I don't think so, so I guess I'll find another crush. My chat's coming in slower here. Okay, now it's catching up. I'm going to read through what's on the screen. William Dean says yes. Tarek says yes. Jalen says, I hope so. Carter says no. Tariq says yes. Anthony says, to be completely honest, I'm not even sure if I ever want to get back into dating. Davidio says, I don't have a crush yet. Zuno says yes. Everglow says, I don't know. I don't know now. She leads me on and is really cruel, in a really cruel way. I'll explain. Look, if your crush leads you on in a really cruel way, she's probably not the one for you, man. Better off spending time and approaching someone that values you. Because like I said, you bring a lot to the table. You really do. Juan says yes. Beardy says hi. How you doing, Beardy boy? Beardy boy, want to play a game, Beardy boy? That's from The Office. I don't know if you guys remember that. Erin says that to Robert California's kid. His name is Birdie. And she says, Birdie boy, do you want to play a game, Birdie boy? I don't know. Annie Smith says, it's all yes, but he has a girlfriend. Yes. Annie, if the two of you connect in that way, but he's dating someone, that's going to end up creating a hard no, right? It like what I would recommend is this, is that for the time being, just be casual friends with him. Talk to him every so often, whatever it may be. If he breaks up with his girlfriend, look, you have the perfect opportunity to go in because you know that all those things align right there. Jelly Squad says maybe. Andy Smith says yes, but what if he has a girlfriend who doesn't do as much for him as he does for her? Look, this is also something I definitely want to do a video on because I see this happen a lot. People mention like, hey, my crush is in a relationship and their partner is not good for them. Their partner's bad, or their partner doesn't value them, or their partner doesn't respect them. I know that feeling. I know it's hard to watch from the outside and to say, why are they with this person? They're clearly a bad matchup. I would be a much better person, but you have to respect the fact that your crush is dating that person. You don't have to respect the person, but you have to respect the fact that your crush has made the decision to date them. And even if your crush notices all these bad things but still wants to date them, it's their decision, and we have to kind of respect that for them. And it's tough and it's hard and it's not easy, I know, but I'm just not someone that recommends interfering in a relationship just to try to swerve someone out of it, because the only way that person is ever going to learn is if they kind of catch on to what's going on and see how the relationship is bad for them and then leave it. You can't wish them out of it. They have to want to leave it. But those are the 5 tips, guys, and I think you guys know what time it is now. It is time for our mindful moment. This is my favorite part of the live streams because I love just taking a few moments to sit and reflect on what we talked about in this live stream, guys. Dario says, will you be there Instagram Live? You betcha, Dario. I'm going to be jumping on Instagram Live right after this live stream ends. Guys, for those of you that don't know, our mindful moment is a moment for us to close our eyes, to think about what we heard in this live stream, to reflect on the things, the interesting perspectives that everyone brought into the chat and shared in this conversation, and to ask ourselves what we can do moving forward. I have my meditation bell right here. Everglow says Taco Bell time. And I want us all to close our eyes. If you're watching the stream right now, you can close your eyes with me. And we are going to reflect on that soulmate, right? We talked about soulmates in the beginning. And like I said, some people believe soulmates, it's destiny to be with them, and that's okay. My perspective as a soulmate is the type of soulmate is someone that you build that relationship with. And you build that by finding someone that understands you, that cares about you and wants to get to know you better, and then you share that mutual love and respect for them as they do for you. Now, if you're single right now and you don't have that person in your life, that's okay. What I want you to do is to think deeply about what your life would look like when you bring that person in. How do you want to invite them in? How do you want to treat them? How do you want to talk to them? Think deeply about the one for you and the love that you want to share with them going forward. And if you're in a relationship now, think about how you can express that and share that with the person you're dating in this moment. Let's take a moment, guys, and think about what we can offer and bring to the table for the one in our lives. Thank you guys again for being a part of this live stream. I really, really enjoyed our conversation, and I hope these points were helpful for you. I hope they're things to reflect on. If you haven't already, hit the thumbs up, guys. And what I'm going to do is head on over to Instagram now for the Instagram after party. If you're watching the replay, check out the resources I link over here, which is going to talk deeper about soulmates and finding the person for you that can love and respect you as you are. Thank you guys again for being a part of the live stream. I apologize, Everglow, for shattering your eardrums. I warn you, man. You know the bell's coming. You know it's coming. That's not my fault. But thank you guys again, and I'll catch you guys next time. As always, love and peace. See you guys over on Instagram.